What do we want? Trans rights! When do we want them? Now! What do we want? Trans rights!
My mother, when I came out to her about 4 years ago, just like, I don't care, you're my kid. That's all I care about, you're my child, that's all. And I'm going to start crying probably, because that just blew my mind. My name is Naomi. Well, here in Brighton with Trans Pride, you just be yourself. Nobody cares.
I am Bernie Strauss. I'm trans and I'm very proud of who I am. Yes, I understood I was happier as female than I would go out and cross-dress. But, you know, it wasn't until I was 35 and realised I'd lost half my life that I said, that is it. I am changing my sex.
Our streets! Our streets!
My name is Jen and I am a they, he, she, at primary school. We had to stand in a girls' queue or a boys' queue, and I would just stand in the middle because I was a high no and nine. And it made me kind of like other myself. And I've never really fully been able to unother myself. I just love it here. It's like just an explosion of like rage and love at the same time. You just see so many different expressions of gender and so many different like gender performances walking around. So like, pride to me means the rejection of shame. But right now, this community means safety. You can go out anywhere in Brighton and you're safe and protected.
So I'm Amari, my pronouns are they, he, and I'm here with friends today. But stuff like this kind of helps me realize that I'm not alone, which is very useful, and to get like actual information as well, not only a place to celebrate, but to actually learn.
My name is Sarah Savage, and I am the CEO of Trans Pride Brighton. Trans Pride Brighton is the largest protest march outside of the big main cities like London and San Francisco. It's a gathering of about 40,000 trans and non-binary people and their allies. And it is everything you see behind me and more. Trans Pride Brighton changes lives. It's changed my life, it could change yours too.
The atmosphere at Trans Pride Brighton is electric. It is amazing. It is so inclusive. Everyone is so friendly and welcoming. The trans community need us more now than ever.
Trans Pride in Brighton for me is a really special time of year. For me, it marks the beginning of my social transition, the beginning of loving myself enough to realise who I am. Pride means resistance. It means a chance every year to regroup, to gather with our siblings, with our friends, with our loved ones, and remind ourselves that we, our movement, has something that the opposition, these gender-critical extremists, this hate group, we have something they don't have, and that's each other. We hold you in our circle. We hold you in our circle. In our circle.
This Trans Pride is different because of the Supreme Court decision that's happened in April and the judiciary that's trying to take our rights away, and we got politicians who are trying to take our rights away, and we've got a lot of the media who are vilifying and demonizing my community. So today we got together to say a big fuck you to the man, and we are saying that trans people are here, we're not going anywhere, so shut up and give us our rights or we will protest you.
What do we want? Trans rights! Now!
When I started Trans Pride, when we co-founded it in 2013, there was hope for the future. There was a groundswell of support for trans people, and the government, the media, the judiciary, they were all supporting trans people, and they were all like, how can we help you? What do you want? What's life like as a trans person? And over the years, it's got worse. In the last few months, I've been on anxiety meds for the first time in my life, and I'm a badass, but this is what is happening. I focus on the things that I can change, and I focus on my community. My community have been there to support me since the very beginning, and I'm not giving up on them just so they won't give up on me. So trans community, give me trans joy.
Now feels more important than ever to actually say something, because I feel like I was growing up in a climate where the door was slightly opening and now the door's shut again. and especially when people have had faith in the Labour government. So I'm just kind of hoping that the door can open again.
The Supreme Court ruling, it didn't take into account trans voices at all in that. So it's just, again, the government and higher powers excluding trans people about policies that govern their lives. We need to have governments and courts that take into account the voices of marginalised people, especially when there's policies that are going to directly affect them.
My reaction to the UK Supreme Court ruling with the definition of sex, it broke my heart. It made me feel incredibly sad. It feels like it's been interpreted by some organisations and some people as segregation, and that's a step backwards. That's not what we want.
They denied it has this influence when in fact it was seized upon by the Equalities and Human Rights Commission and used as a bludgeon with which to attack trans people. This is totally wrong. And how the bloody hell is this allowed to happen in this country? I'm finding it very hard today because of that anger. That anger has been with me the last 4 months. I haven't slept properly for 4 months. This creeps into every part of my life. And I look at all these beautiful people here, and they're magnificent. Know that I'm part of that helps.
Past few months I've been a bit angry and annoyed and stuff because obviously all the things that are going on. But it's got my, if you want, my backup. Because I've fought years and years to get to where I am. I've been very unwell for a long time. And I've fought years and years to get to there. And I've fought hard to get where I am now, today. I'm not going back. So, like, if you want it's not rebellion as such, but all the stuff that's going on, they're not going to win. They can't win. Look at us. We're all beautiful.
It's my message to trans people of all ages that feel unsafe potentially around cis people is like, I actually really understand that feeling because of what just happened with this Supreme Court ruling, because of the way the media is talking about trans people. There's a lot of transphobia in the world. But there's also allies. And I promise to be as vocal as I can.
Don't let them fucking shake you.
What they've done is they've created an impossible situation. Right now, as the law stands, it makes no sense. So it's going to force them to have to rewrite the law. It feels bad, but it's actually going to be better in the long run because it's going to force a big change.
I think the thing that sustains me is remembering that we've existed since the beginning of time. In every society, everywhere in the world, every indigenous population, we trans people have existed. I can rock up on any corner of this earth and I will find people who are just like me. I think now is the time to mobilise our allyship into action. This isn't about returning trans and non-binary people back to the situation we were in on the 14th of April before the Supreme Court ruling. This is about building a future for us that is not only sustainable, but that's beautiful.
I think it's just really important to get out and say the UK Supreme Court ruling, that's not in my name. I don't agree with that as a cisgender person. Some people might be reluctant to show up as allies because of lack of understanding, perhaps. They may not realise that we have privilege as cisgender people. Sometimes if someone says something that's transphobic, if you say, can you just explain that to me, or can you repeat that? It gets people to actually question what they've said.
And it's important to note that it's always marginalised groups of people who are the first to have their rights attacked. And right now it's a terrifying time to be trans because suddenly we're the latest political football. But this actually is a recycled, old and boring political strategy. What politicians, what these right-wing pundits need to do is they need to create a big, scary enemy. And right now, that's us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I always believe in the underdog The underdog always wins. The bully thinks that they're going to win. The bully never wins. It's always about the underdog. So don't let it shake you, because there's a lot of good people out there.
I hope for a future where trans people can just exist. Where trans people can exist as brightly, as boldly, as loudly, as quietly, as softly, as delicately, as freely as they want. For me, is what this is all about.